Good morning. Just enjoying that song. All right. So what I found out last night was that here, let's find it. I could actually get a little bit more information back, like so, and it discovered that serializing the map that we get back from the users list is not serializing to JSON. Okay, serializing that map isn't working very well. So, how are we going to do it? Let's go back into, we might need to make like a little util or something else to be able to serialize this. Or we toss it in something like JS values, maybe a toJSON trait. I don't know. I'm leaning to a toJSON just to make it easier. So where was that? That was in durable objects, users. Here, it's this guy. I tried changing this up a bunch and stringifying an array of tuples. It doesn't work. Stringifying the map itself doesn't work. I mean, the array of tuples gets you this. So something's going on here. I mean, I would expect that the array of tuples to actually work all right. But maybe it's like the Unicode encoding, something at the beginning. Because that should be a B, because it was B Halstead. And the rest, yeah. Because this is the tuple, right? We have the serialized bit here. But we're supposed to have these other two pieces encoded as well. So I'm not sure what happened here. And it's hard to debug this because this is being called from a web worker, and durable objects are hard to debug. So let's see what we can do in about an hour, because that's about all I got this morning. So let's create a little trait. JS value. Trade. A JSON. Sure. Or into JSON. Because we're converting borrowed JavaScript values into JSON, we don't have to consume them. So we could do one that goes into either a JS value or a JS string, which is what the JSON serialize does. Then we could also have something like that. That would take it to, because of the coaching session. What? That's on Monday. Oh no, and that'll be a long stream. What works better here? JS JSON, Rust JSON, JSON Rust. Now let's focus on this piece here. Now it's actually going to be a short stream because I have to hit the dentist this morning. So before work. Now I was looking this up, and it's actually something that's oh, that was interesting. Why did we reconnect? It was quick, but it happened. Odd. Just gonna make sure things are connected. All right. So we could either serialize it as an object, which is what I would prefer, Or we serialize it as an array of tuples, which I don't like as much. All right. To do there. This all the music today. That's a little too laid back. Oh, there we go. It's gonna put me back to sleep. All right, we're gonna take the map, get its entries, go into an iterator on that. We need some other sort of JS map. Some other object. This is going to be like heavy weight for this because we're going to be going back and forth between Rust and JavaScript and Rust and JavaScript. I don't know. Let's see if we can just go to that tuple list. So we get the tuple list, serialize that, toss an unwrap on that just for fun. Hey, Midnight Muffins, how you doing? Tuple list. That should be our JSON list, and that's a JS string which we can then return, right? Okay, let's test that real quick. Oh, can't use my normal macros there. And apparently you can create one of these from a list of those tuples as well. Is that in the interface? No, it's not. JS value from stir. Okay. Something simple. It wants borrowed types, so we can do that. And then Played board games. Made blueberry brownies. Oh, that sounds delicious. I've never heard of that before. Um, I woke up to the internet being foobarred. I walked to one of the other buildings to get the network working again. Starlink updated this morning, but the router didn't fully boot. Should just be this. Quote pound done. Ah, yes, yes. Yeah, it was really just unbooting or like unbooting it, turning it off and back on. So that's the first time I've really had to intervene in a number of months. Yeah, I think all the other times were actually my fault. Okay, so we should be able to try that. Let's see, cargo. No, no, no. WASM pack test. Yes, node, and then we can give it a filter. Oh man. Okay, map JSON failed. Ah, yes. So that worked just fine. Huh. All right, so why would this be failing otherwise then? I forgot that it was actually supposed to be a tuple list. Yeah, we took it down to a tuple list in the to JSON for the map. We didn't actually make it an object. But still, it's better than the other one. The other one wasn't encoding correctly. Right? The one way up here. This one? The encoding at the beginning of this is butchered. All right. To JSON. Let obj is equal to JSys object. Now we'll have to use reflect to add to that. Does it need to be mutable? It's JavaScript object. Probably not. Interior mutability to the rescue. All right. Got our tuple list. We're going to iterate over those. Can we do this? While let okay? Probably. And we're gonna say obj there. Now we have to take the elements out of the pair and stick them into the object. Because this is a JSys iterator, we're not going to be calling next on that. I guess we could. Or just call into iterator on it. And we get the Rust iterator. So we're doing that, but then we get a JS value, which is really, really opaque. All right, but that's coming from map elements. Capital M? Map? Entries, that's what it was. Map entries. Containing key value pair array. So, pair unchecked into array. We know what the type is. It's telling us what the type is, so we're doing the unchecked cast. Oh, of course. You're not the first person to comment on this. It takes a lot to set me off. um, I would say that's something I've developed over the years. It's not always been the case. Yeah, if you were to like ask more and be like, "Well, how did you do it?" I don't know. I don't like confrontation, right? Confrontation is challenging, mostly because you get into a situation where emotions are high and logic is low. And there's nobody that wins in a situation like that. And I think that's mainly the thing that drives the patients. Like in an emotional confrontation, right? It's not about logic. It's about listening. And listening is hard to do. So being empathetic, all that is something that I have to try for. Now we have to match this? Oh, it's just, well, thank you, but yeah, it's just been challenging. And I've never had like a physical confrontation. Right? It's never happened. I've had animal confrontations before. Ugh. Looks a lot like JS. We are, yeah, JSON stringify. It does. It does. And in fact, we're calling the JavaScript JSON stringify function because this Rust code is getting compiled down to WebAssembly and running inside of V8. Yep, that is exactly right. And result pair in this case is going to be okay. In which case we have a pair. We toss this up there. Or we have some sort of error, which would be some value, which we're probably going to ignore. No, actually we return it, don't we? I don't think that actually ever hits. See, we go into iterator here. When can this error? If a non-object value gets returned, a type error, and that's not going to be the case for this. So this error, we're going to say this is unreachable. And we'll give a little comment here. Oh yeah, this documentation is machine generated, so you don't actually get much here. The JSys and the WebSys documentation, because it's mostly coming from some other language definition. Yeah, there's not much there. Okay. Now we have the pair. We need to get the 0th element off of an array. So let's look up array. Get. All right. That returns a JS value. Now we have to set something on an object. Can we even do that here, or do we have to use a reflect? We can use a sign. We need Clippy to point gonna create maintainers and force them to write examples. Yeah. So we have to use reflect here. Reflect set target property and value. Notice not immutable reference. So it either works or it doesn't. Then at the end, we've got a little JSON blob. Okay. Now our test should fail again. Hmm. Yeah. See, my packet loss this morning is only at 1%, which is pretty good. Starlink does still drop stuff, but not too much anymore. I mean, before it used to be like 6% a couple months ago when we had switched on to it full time. I mean, we even wrote software to help. Yeah, yeah, it's doing all right. All right. Yes, this is correct and pretty much what we had before. Put that back, get rid of the escaping. Oops. All right. So that works. Bummer. I was hoping to be able to find the encoding issue there. Do I use Rust in my day job? No, I do not. I'm a web dev. So actually over my career I've done front end and back end work. And it's currently swung back to front end. So but I love doing back end stuff. Sometimes I miss the sparkle of front end work when I'm doing back end stuff. But then you swing back over into the front end and you realize IE11 still exists and you want to run back. That and web technology is just huge. Okay. So now we can use this here. We get our map. Sure, unchecked into. And I wonder if it's because it's a U8 array. Let's try this again, but with a string this time. Sure. Oh, that's a JS string. With WASM, it is WASI. I don't know if I could ever code in WebAssembly, like straight up WebAssembly. It's very Lispish. Well, that looks like it's gonna work. Here, let's see. Let's see what happens. Little trepidatious here. Mirabellier, good morning. Yeah, we're having a short stream today. Good morning. All right. Yeah, the parentheses. Oh, it worked that time. Hmm. Okay. User list. This is where we were using it. Here's our little cry out there. Say that's JSON. All right. Reload it. Now we have our JSON here. It's not escaped like it was. Oh, fantastic. Okay. Yep. Oh, what are we doing? Yeah. Thank you, KK. Well, this seems to be going in the right direction. So now we have that object. Here, we need to iterate over them and create our user list. So we delete that. Now we need to take... Oh, that's funny. I just realized that the return type that I really want here isn't a big object like this. So right now we have that key value pair where the key is the user email address and the value is just their object serialized. But I just want the objects. So we're going to take the values and we'll have to take those into another type. Now this is where we're reaching into JavaScript land here. From Rust, you can grab the entries. You can also grab the values, right? Object of values. You pass in the object here, get the values for it, and you get an array back. Object values, user list, and that'll return an array. Then the array we can iterate on. Where is it? Iter. It returns an array iter. Found a reference. Oh, expected object. Okay, so before we do the bail on that, let's do a map. And have this do a JS cast unchecked into. Okay. It's going to want to know what type. Okay, now we have a map. Great. Let's go back 1, 2, object of values. Okay. And it's crazy that you get these things. It's so available from Rust. It's kind of fun. I mean, it's not having all the type information drives you mad sometimes, but it's livable. Then I like everything that they have available because it means that like you don't have to increase the size of your WASM file, right? You've got so much available in JavaScript. You just glue it together with Rust. And if you really need to, you can do something fast in Rust. Or you can use something like mod, right? What we're using for our templates. And that's really nice. Oh, Xenocron, you are doing them a disservice. Ah. Oh, I know. Right now it's paying the bills, and I use JavaScript every single day. Every day. One thing that gets me about writing JavaScript nowadays for browsers and different companies is that you end up with a transpiler, right? So if you're working 1 gig and you got to deal with one set of compiler settings or transpiler settings, then you go to another gig and it's completely different. So it's like you have dialects of JavaScript and it's different at every company. That drives me nuts. That drives me nuts. Yeah, I wish we could just use JavaScript, right? Or use TypeScript. Not like use JavaScript with your Babel settings. Yeah, the ES6 syntax. Well, which one, right? Because there's lots of different things you can enable in Babel to get like the ES next pieces on there too. People say JavaScript is evolving much faster than TypeScript. Yeah, yeah. I don't doubt that. Um, TypeScript's goal like isn't to like replace JavaScript. It's really to just reduce a class of errors that are common in JavaScript. Kind of like what Rust does over C or C++ or Java, right? All right, how do we count these? Collect these into this. So yeah, I got about like 15, 20 minutes here. Oh, Xenocron, I would love that. I should absolutely start open sourcing some like Rust WASM projects. Like libraries, right? You gotta start that ecosystem. All right, where were we? Sorry, I got distracted. Which is absolutely okay. I don't mind that. Um, oh, you're writing TypeScript right now for AWS Lambda? I like TypeScript. Used it since version 0.8.3, all the way up, I think, to 2.0. And each upgrade caught more bugs in our massive code base, which I got to fix. All right. So now we have this array, right? Object of values returns an array. So we need to unchecked into array that. All right. Because object of values gives us an array. Yes. Array, we have an iter. So there we have an array iter, which is encrypting and decrypting some web stuff. Oh, some stuff for work earlier in JS. So easy. Yeah, were you using the crypto APIs or some other sort of library? Oh, that's an AWS thing, Zonacron. Let's see. Array. Iter. Array iter. That is an iterator. So if that's an iterator, we're going to map these. We're going to have some sort of value. But what are we, what type of value is it? It's a string, isn't it? So first we have to map that. How do we do a parse? Select real quick, JSON. Well, of course the parse, but what type? Oh, it takes a stir. Now, we know that it's going to tell us this is a JS value, right? The array element, the array iterator. Yeah, JS values, your item. So we need to go from that to a JS string. So JS cast unchecked into JS string dot map string from. Then we have it as a stir. Then we can map it again to, we got to put a closure in here. And this is going to be JSON parse, like so. Now we have an object. What does parse return? Is it a result? Ooh. That's not what. What is the other function? A filter map? I think it's more of an and then. Oh, it's on option. So we're going to convert that to some sort of object, right? It's a JS value. Yeah, crypto.js. Yeah, we end up using that from WASM. It's a neat API. JS string, JSON parse. And then what do we have here? So we're gonna throw on that. We're not throw, but we're gonna try on that. We're gonna collect into a result of anonymous to anonymous or deleted. Okay, one more. Really? On it, a type alias. Okay. JS value. Hmm. My JS parse returns a result. That should be okay. All right, let's keep going. Map. Unchecked into. Oh. And what is the type at this point? An object or JS value? Let's go into models user. Because we had a little conversion stuff in here. For JS value, from user to JS value, from entries. What are entries? What? Source, entry source. Oh, I forgot about this. It's well, thank you for stopping in, Rogue Particle. I gotta put my watch on. All right. Why did I do this again? Why do we have this entries thing? All right. Entries map. And then we can go from that. Fine. Wait, but we don't have a map. We've got an object. Oh, and at this point, they want the keys and values. Okay, so where did we have our object? Users is an array. What did the JSON parse here? Okay. Then after we have that type, when I cast into object, okay, from object, well, it still doesn't like that. That's too bad. Yeah. So we have the object. We're going to ask for its values. Basically, its keys and values. Keys and values. Huh. It seems like there should be a from for this. Oh, from object. It is right there. All right, then we have our entries. This just keeps going. This is... So after we have the entries, then we want to go user from. Expected signature, function entries, type mismatch, and function arguments. Expected signature. And that's, yes, that does implement iterator, but we're not actually using the iterator. We should have that. So we have entries and then user. Oh, did I? From entries. Try from. Oh, okay. Oh, we're using the wrong user. Morning. Good morning. How you doing? I'm gonna leave that for now. All right, then we have users. And theoretically, we should be able to display them now. But wow, that is unreal. Is there a simpler way to do that? See, we might be able to get rid of the conversion here. Let's see if it works though. Yeah, we've got a real short stream today, so just over an hour. All right, let's see. Does it work? Do we get our user list? No. The script will never generate a response. Ever. Oh, wait. And we got a 500 for the favicon too? Why? Really? Yeah. Huh. What else did we just... What else did we do? When it couldn't have been that, right? Like, how would this mess up favicon? Reload. Really? That little bit of code also messes up favicon? But favicon doesn't come through this. Wow. So somehow that's like screwing up the WASM. Because user list, the favicon shouldn't even hit this. Oh. Huh. I wonder which one it is. The Giganto map? Radicos. Good morning. Good morning. I'm a little bummed that this is, that's not working. But I'll have to figure that out later. Sadly, I gotta get going. I gotta get ready. Got a thing to do. So, we're gonna do a little raiding. Sorry for the short stream today, but it's, I mean, 60 minutes in Rust is better than no minutes in Rust. Hey, let's raid a meal. Emil has written the library that we're using for our glitter machine. Oh, there we go. All right, Graticus, thank you for stopping in. Thank you all. And I'm gonna go try to avoid a cavity. So, till next time, take care.